Today we're going to do something a little bit different and go over keyboard shortcuts. I use them all the time and sometimes I call them out in my videos, so this naturally led some people to ask about other keyboard shortcuts that I might also use. I'm going to share my favorites with you that help me save time and increase my productivity. So I've already opened a Word document with a list of all of my favorite keyboard shortcuts. We're going to start at the top and work our way through this list. I'm going to put my cursor next to the word select, and I'm going to hold down my shift key and use the right arrow to select this row of text. From there, if I want to copy it and move this text to a different part of my document, I would just select CTRL C to copy the text. Scroll down to the bottom and click CTRL V to paste it. The other thing I can do is select the text and click CTRL X to cut, and then I would still use CTRL V to paste. Now, of course, normally I would paste this in another part of the document, but I'm trying to keep it simple for the purposes of this demonstration. The next thing that I do quite a bit in instructional documents is I bold key parts of the instructions. So I will select my text and use CTRL B to make the text bold. And then you can click CTRL B to unbold the text. If you want to change the size of your font, you can click the Control button and the right bracket or the left square bracket to make the fonts larger or smaller. So to make it smaller, I'm going to click Control and left bracket. To make the font larger, I can click Control and the right bracket. Now, of course, you have all of these options up here on the Home ribbon, but instead of hunting through the ribbon, I find it faster just to use the hotkeys. There are times when I want to select everything in a document and either cut or paste it to another document. To do that, I will use CTRL A, and it's going to select everything within this document, no matter how many pages it is. Then I can click CTRL C or CTRL V, depending on if I want to cut or copy. And now I have transferred this information over to another document. CTRL A is great if you want to select the whole document, but what if you just want to select a particular paragraph? Down below, I have already put in some sample text. If I put my cursor in front of the paragraph that I want to select and then click 3 times with my mouse, it's going to select the whole paragraph. And then I can copy and paste or move the text around. Occasionally, there are times where I might want to find a specific word or phrase in my document. So I can use CTRL F to open up the Find navigation pane on the left-hand side of the screen, and then I can type in the word that I'm looking for. So for example, let's say I'm looking for the word dialogue. Once I type that into the Find box on the left-hand side of the screen, notice that in the main body of the document, that the words dialogue are highlighted in yellow so that I can quickly find them. What if I want to replace something in the document? Instead of using Find, I can use CTRL H to look for Find and Replace. So now it's saying, what do you want to find? I still want to find the word dialogue, but I've decided that I want that word to be capitalized. So I'm going to type in capital D and then click Replace All. A window pops up letting you know how many replacements were made. So if you see here on the screen, the Find dialog box and Replace dialog box used to be lowercase, now it's uppercase. I'm not sure that I really like that, so I can hit CTRL Z to undo it. I'm still a little bit undecided about it, so I can click CTRL Y to redo it. Now we're going to take a look at how to use Alt Shift plus arrow to move your selected text up or down. This is one I discovered recently and has been extremely helpful. In this case, I want to move this shortcut to the bottom of this page and change the order. So I would click Alt, Shift, and the down arrow to move this command to the bottom of my list. Now what I used to do is just cut and paste, but sometimes there is formatting behind what I've done, and if I cut and paste, the formatting will get out of line. If you use Alt, Shift, and Arrow, the formatting stays in place. I find this to be particularly useful. The next useful tool is F7 for spell check. I'm going to admit that my spelling can sometimes be terrible. So I use F7 to open up the editor on the right-hand side of the screen and let it check my spelling for me. It will even point out some grammar mistakes. So for example, it says under triple mouse click, Word thinks that I should use the word mice. Now it's not perfect because it doesn't always understand context, and I wouldn't use triple mouse click. Triple mouse click is in fact correct, so I'm going to leave it be. So far, I have been demonstrating shortcut keys that work really well in Excel, PowerPoint, and Word. Now I'm going to show you some shortcut keys that work really well with Windows. If you click on Alt-Tab, it's going to bring up an interface that allows you to select from any of the open windows that you have. So I'm going to select Google, and here we are on my YouTube channel homepage. Now that I'm on my homepage, if I want to view this screen full screen and hide the URL bar at the top and the toolbar at the bottom, I can select the window and click on the F11 key. It helps to minimize distractions from the toolbar or the tabs. If I want to see the URL bar again, I can either click Escape or F11 again. If I want to open a new tab, I can click on Control T and a new tab will open. If I want to close the tab that I'm currently on, I will click Alt and F4. Another hotkey that I use frequently is F5. If I need to refresh something on the window, I can simply click F5. And you saw the screen blink for a second there, and that means that it was refreshed. And the last hotkey that I'm going to share with you is the Control P hotkey. The print hotkey works in more than just Word, but I am going to demonstrate from my Word document. If you click Control P on your keyboard, then a print window will open up on the left-hand side of the screen. That's all the shortcut keys that I have to share with you today. If you have any shortcut keys you'd like to share with the group, please feel free to put them in the comments below. The ones that I demonstrated today will be in the description box of this video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.